Hey everybody, it is Molar Mauler and we are in Meidum. It is one of the economic missions early in the Old Kingdom. We have win conditions of 3,000 population, 25 culture and prosperity rating, and we have to build two monuments, a stepped pyramid complex and a small stepped pyramid. For myself, I'm in the big leagues. It's an interesting looking map. It's a combination of meadow and floodplain. Looks like a pretty decent map. Let's see what they're going to let us do. This is the one that I like the best. We can finally build libraries, so everything is available to us from here on out. We'll be able to fully evolve senator blocks and take manors up to the highest level. We can do grain farming on this map. I believe our second food is fish, if I remember from looking at the mini map. We can quarry plain stone. We can gather the reeds that are on the east side of the river. We can harvest wood. We can make papyrus with our reeds. We can do pottery with our clay. We can do bricks with our straw and clay. And we have weavers and jewelers available to us, but no brewers. Bast is our patron god, and we also have Osiris and Ptah on the map. Bast is a really great patron god to have. Still no academies, but they are expecting a little bit of a navy here on this map. We can do weaponsmiths, and not anything beyond pavilions at this point. And as we mentioned, there is a small step pyramid. Looks like I don't get a very big one. I'll be fine. And then quite a bit larger step pyramid complex. This is a pretty place to put it, but we'll probably stick it somewhere down here to be closer to the stone. And we don't require any grave goods. There are 5 cities that are willing to trade with us. Saqqara will sell us some plain stone, so we might be able to speed up the monument a little bit. And we do have a market for papyrus, and for wood, and for bricks. Very inexpensive land route. We have a source of gems, incense, and copper. We're also going to open them up because we need the copper. Necken is a water route. They're a source of beer and of flax for us. And they also buy papyrus, so we'll open them. Bedet is a water route. They'll sell us our second food. They'll also sell us beer. They'll buy bricks and wood. We're going to open them up. That leaves Abu. They're a very expensive water route, but they buy papyrus, so we're going to open them up. They're a source of grain as well, so we might do some early feeding of our people with trade. Hopefully we have a lot of money this mission. So let's import both grain and fish to start with, because the sooner we get a population up, the better. We'll export bricks over 0. We'll export papyrus when over 0, and we'll do the same with wood. So we're going to want to set up an industry area here, and I think I might do the farming off the floodplain, even though I have a lot of meadow available. It's pretty far away from the water. I don't want to be dragging irrigation ditches out that far, especially if it's in places where I want to stick housing. So I'm going to try to squeeze in a small senator block on this side of the river, a papyrus industry that'll handle 7,500 papyrus a year, a wood industry that'll handle 5,000 wood a year, and a brick industry that'll handle 5,000 a year. And then I'll probably do a small senator block over here just to handle the military and the dock, because it doesn't look like we have got room for a dock over here. We'll do a large senator block and we'll try to set it up so I have the option to evolve manors on one side of it. So I'll set up pottery, weaving, and jewelry on this side of the river. And then I'll probably set up a small senator block down here to handle the plain stone mines and the monument. So I think I'll set up the 3 small senator blocks and that economy area, probably the temple complex, just so I don't have to worry about Bast anymore, and a festival square and get the festival up. That'll be the things that I am targeting early. Hopefully it's a straightforward mission. We'll find out. We're going to start off by building up our industry area. So we're going to need to put down our ferry. I've checked any immigrants come from the south end of the map, unfortunately. So I'm going to want to set up like this, I think, just to shorten their walk a little bit. It's going to be forever before we fill up our people here. So we'll want our dock close to the ferry. It's our only dock, I think, so we'll put it on accept all. And we'll probably build our senator block here on the north side of the river, starting from this corner here. And we'll probably send a road down here as our base road. So we need to find a place where there's 14 to be able to get a lower road, an upper road, and the 12 for the senator block. So that is one short. That's going to work. So this will be the base for the senator block here. So I think what we might do is make the dock workers come across the ferry and access 2 storage yards here. My other choice would be to put the storage yards over here and pull across the river, but I think this is going to work out. So I think we'll do papyrus up here, then we'll do bricks and wood down here. So we need room for clay pits, and we need access to fields. So I did the math, and we need 7 clay pits. We need 9 brickworks. I'm going to do 14 papyrus makers. I think I need 13 of them for trade, and I'll have 1 for myself. And then we'll try 5 woodcutters and see if that keeps up. I think a woodcutter should be able to do 1,000 a year if he's close to the wood. And we'll want to work camp as close to these fields as we can. So let's get our 7 clay pits down. And then 9 brickworks. I think I might put a granary here. It's close to the fields. So I'll go 3 rows of 3. And then if we're going to do 5 woodcutters, I'll do a row of 3, and then I'll stick 2 out on the ends of a loop. So this will be the extent of our loop here. We'll eventually stick a grain storage yard here to handle surplus, and we'll pull it into here, and we'll set up a straw storage yard here that'll supply the brick bakers. So let's set up our fields. I think I'm going to get to set up my favorite farm configuration when I've got a thick piece of floodplain, and that's to set up a square, take a road to connect to these 2 fields, and then bring a irrigation ditch up and finish it on top of that last little bit of road. So the irrigation ditch goes to here, which is close enough to irrigate these 2 fields, and then I just repeat that. So there's 12 farms. August is when the floods come. I don't know if I'm going to have all of these things worked in time for harvest to get straw off. So I might even import straw. And that way we can get our brick industry going right off the bat. It's going to be a long walk for the dock workers to get to here, but it's just 1 trip. We'll accept papyrus here. We're doing 7,500 a year out of here, so I'm going to give this warehouse specifically and only to papyrus. We're going to want it to stay as full as possible and at least be able to handle 2 ship worths. And we'll go half bricks here and half wood. So let's finish up the papyrus industry. I think 4 raid gatherers should handle 14 papyrus makers. That's 10. And that's 14. Now let's make sure that this doesn't burn down or fall down. This is such an important area. Just stick a little bit of extra coverage down. So let's set up our housing for the block. We're going to bring all our housing here first, of course, because of the long walk for the immigrants. And then I guess I'm going to have to do a storage yard here for grain right off the bat. It's also going to be a long walk for the first one, but we'll be stopping imports of grain as soon as we get our first harvest off the field. We have 2,500 Thebans left after all of that, but we do have the industry completely set up. This is our economy. So we'll finish off this senator block. We'll just leave it open for now, and fire coverage and architect coverage for the dock will come from the housing block. Feed these guys with fish. We'll accept half a yard of fish here. And we'll go down and set something up in the monument area. We're probably going to go into debt, but I think I've set the economy up strong enough that we'll get out of it pretty fast. Now there are so many options on where to start everything down here, but I think I might leave room for a quarry here, and then a quarry here, and then if we send quarries off of here, that leaves us a little corner where we can start our small senator block down here. We'll maybe do a couple of farms in the meadow here. It looks like it's pretty dense, so we'll try to get away without using a water lift. If I can get these above 80, I think I'll be happy. So that's a small senator block starting here. Wow, that actually makes it quite handy here. $88 and $93. I think those 2 farms should feed this. Disconnect it right here. Okay, let's go into debt. We'll use this block to keep Bast happy. We'll probably change it later once we get the temple complex down, but that should keep all the gods happy up to population of 750. Bast maybe just a scooch over 750. So I guess we'll go live and see if I put myself immediately into the dreaded Theban death spiral. Glad to see they're not making any silly walks and following this road. They're making a little bit of a silly walk to get to the ferry. So I'm just going to see if I can alter their path for the next wave at least. And I think we'll go on hygiene focus to start with to get the water carriers out. He's out in this block. He's out in this block, so we'll switch it down. And we need a lot of workers. And we're going to quickly blow past our happiness level for our gods. The first ships are passing us by. Oh no, we've got maybe the food. We've got the fish delivered. And we've got the grain delivered. So it's nice to see that our distribution is working. Next time those ships come to town, we should have some things to sell. We got a little bit of grain off our own field and a little bit of straw. We're 3,000 in debt. We're going to make some wood sails. I think we made some straw sails. We're selling some papyrus. Well, our debt is almost gone. I think I'm going to try to make the gods happy, and we'll probably suspend our fish and grain imports. And I'm going to get a granary down here. It's going to get all. And I'm going to switch him off of fish and onto grain. Keep Osiris and Ta happy. We still need to keep Bast a little bit happier. Although she's good right now, I think we'll just make a little bit of money and put the temple complex down. It looks like our flood is okay. And now we're at 5,000 Ebens. We're definitely going well now. We're going to set up the temple complex and the festival square, and we're going to get a festival off to Bast. Things I would have liked to have done a little bit sooner, but didn't have the money for it. Really wouldn't mind getting the village palace down as well. And we'll start getting the tax collectors in. Drop it down to 9. Give everybody a 1 Deben raise. That should keep everybody happy. We do want to throw our festival to Bast. And then I think we'll get our military going. First, I'm going to do a little bit here to make Osiris and Ta a little happier. And I think I might get a granary down on this side of the river. And we'll get a quarter yard of fish here, and we'll get 3/4 of a yard of grain. We only need 58 workers now. I think we're going good. So let's get the monument started. Let's get the military started. But I need a break, so I'll come back after a save. Coming back from a short break, I'm just gonna throw a festival to Bast, just because I'm restarting. And I want to get the pyramid going. So I'm going to have to leave a warehouse for stone here. But I'd like to get some work camps down. I think 4 would be good. Thank you, Bast. I think that still gives me room for the pyramid. Yeah, it does. So now that we're working on that, we'll head up and work on our military. I don't have a lot of room up here. So I want to be careful. I'm going to change this one here to a pottery warehouse. So we're going to put some clay pits and some potters down here. And I'm going to put this one onto a fish. Quarter copper and a quarter weapons. I'm going to start importing copper. And I'm going to get a weaponsmith down and a recruiter. And we've got a request for wood. I'm going to stockpile that. And I'm going to get a archer fort down. And an infantry fort down. And then I should think about pottery and entertainment. I wish I had some jewelers and some weavers down. That would have been nice. Need 109 workers. I'm going to tell this one to buy pottery. Don't know if I'm going to get it to buy beer. And then we'll get our venues down here. And we'll also tell this one to buy pottery. It looks like I need to get stonemasons down here. I'm going to leave room for a carpenter's guild here. There's a whole yard of pottery right there. Thank you, Ta. Maybe I will start working on the linen and jewelry industry. So we'll accept all linen here and all jewelry here. I'm leaving room for a shipyard there in case we get called out by sea. We'll put some transport wharfs here, and then I'll see if I can squeeze in a pair of jewelers. Oh, good, and a pair of weavers. I had room. And I'm probably going to want to get something in here for protection for this block. It's starting to get a little involved. Well, I don't want to do that, but I guess I will. I'll stockpile reeds, and I will set them in this warehouse here. And while that's loading up, I'll get fire and architect up here. And I'll stop stockpiling them, and I will accept none. And I think it's time I block this off. And block this off. Put down the rest of the houses in the senator block here. We are doing really well on Devons. Get my blocking statues down here. And I'll get my venues down. Probably change this to a courthouse. We're doing not too bad on workers now. And maybe I'll bring in a small amount of blacks and gems. And beer into town. And we'll buy pottery here. We'll buy beer here. And we'll buy linen and jewelry here. And our second food. So I guess we better start bringing in fish again. We'll get our first library down as soon as we have 500 papyrus. So all that we need are the dentists. And we'll put down some entertainment down here. And we'll get one more to make 20. I just want to see if the woodcutter will deliver straight to the Carpenter's Guild, or if I'm going to need to have a warehouse for wood over here.
People say that this city has plenty of food to go around.
It looks like he delivered straight to it, so that's perfect. I'm going to angle for a Taw blessing. I'm ready to evolve some manners if I need to. We're doing okay on all of our ratings. All we need to do is get the monument done. So I'm going to speed this up. We're 400 plus over our requirements. But I don't mind running a little extra population if it gets me that monument a little faster. And it looks like I'm going to need some stonemasons here. So that makes 10. And now we're just monument watching. Sorry, the rest of this video is going to be fairly boring because it's basically going to consist of me giving a January update. We'll start importing plain stone too. I believe it comes from a land route, so we should be getting some help to the tune of 25 a year. And I'll let this run to January. And I'll see you again next January. Well, I'm seeing you sooner than January because it looks like the Libyans are coming for us. The good news is that should be a land attack, so I don't think I have to worry about scrambling together a navy. We have 2 full forts already. So I think we should do okay. It's January already, and we have 6 months' notice. Monument's going pretty well. I'm debating putting down another small senator block because we still need 132 workers. There, we'll feed them just with grain. We won't give them pottery. That should take us up to about 4,000 people. We're 1 month away from the moment of truth. I think we'll be okay, but I'm a little nervous. We lost 1 archer and 1 infantry. Holy smokes, is it January already? Just seems like such a short time ago we were smacking some Libyans around. And it's January again. Well, I don't much like this, but I guess I'll stockpile it. That could have been going to the monument. Not quite January, but we got another request. So we'll stockpile papyrus. And it looks like we've got the big base of the pyramid down. The next course should be stepped in and not quite as big. Still need 4,000 blocks of plain stone. We're going to be here forever. We'll deliver that, sadly. And we'll deliver pottery. We're getting a lot of requests. And it's January again. I haven't seen a blessing from a god for a while, so I'm going to throw another festival to Bast. We'll do a grand festival. Gifts of stone would sure be nice. We have a collapsed building. I see what happened. So I think I'm going to put it back. And then I'm going to put down a architect's post right here. That should keep these ones from falling over. Unemployment at 3%. I don't think we're going to be doing any manners here at all. Although I am ready to pop some if I would have needed it, but it looks like I need all the employees that I have. Getting quite a lot more blessings from Bast now. We'll deliver this. And go back on Pyramid Watch. Probably just watch this until it hits January. We're about halfway done the next big section of the pyramid. I guess I'll see you again next January, unless we get another one of those multiple requests we've been getting. We'll see you again next January. And now we get a request for wood. And it looks like we're going to have a bad harvest down the road, except for Osiris just maybe counteracted that. And we've got the wood to send out, and we'll go off stockpile. I'm just curious, we're going to watch the next flood and see what happens. See if Osiris is any better at fixing a game scripted event, or if it's just going to go with the game scripted event. Nothing is showing on the Nilometer. And it looks like the game scripted event won out over Osiris. And here we are in January, and we're on the third of the tiers. It only wants 2,800 blocks of plain stone now. We'll deliver this grain, even though our flood failed. Looks like a good flood is coming up on the Nilometer. I'll just close it. And we'll see you in January. Nope, we'll see you right now because there's a Libyan army coming for us again. I guess we'll see them next July. Decided to skip the January report this time around and jump right to the Libyans. So in a month, we'll get attacked. Hopefully they won't be sending more. They didn't, and we're a little better trained than last time. But we did worse this time. We lost an infantry and 3 archers. And it's January again, and we're almost done the third of the big tiers. It's deja vu all over again. We need 2,100 blocks of plain stone now. I wish they'd be giving us gifts of plain stone, considering everything we're giving to Pharaoh. It would be nice if we were getting some monument construction material, but we are not. Just taking a mid-year break just to come up and take a look at the city proper. We're already 300,000 plus demons in the bank. Got 4% unemployment, so we're not going to be doing any manors. In fact, the monument is going so slow, we might be aging out of some of our workers pretty soon. This little section is going well. We can always give this one pottery and beer if we need to get a little bit more employment. And managed to duck back down here for our January look at the monument. And it's January again, and it doesn't look like a lot has changed. Unless something earth-shattering happens, I think I'll just come back to it near the end and show you what our time is. I'm going to actually put down the little guy right now. They're clearing the ground on that pretty fast. I might just watch for a little while here with you. It's always fun seeing them clear the ground, and on such a little pyramid like this, it's kind of a little bit more interesting. They level the ground to the bedrock, they cut channels, they fill it with water, then they go and mark the water level marks and take the water out. And then they backfill. And I bet you we'll be finish this small pyramid really quickly. We ended up with a food shortage, which is embarrassing in a city with Bast as one of your gods. We're going to add 2 more fields. I'm going to put 1 more work camp down. Just to try to make sure that we maximize this. Looks like our housing is recovered, but I don't want that to happen again. And here we are in January. We're going to get a double harvest, which is nice. We're still short of 229 workers. That little bit of housing devolution that happened to us while we weren't paying attention kind of really stung. We have another army coming for us. We just came up here to watch our double harvest. We're hurting for food in this town. But hopefully this helps. And our 6-month warning at our January report time. We need 768 blocks of plain stone now on this one, and 224 on this one. So hopefully we won't be here too much longer now that we've got the larger base portions done. And another flooded clay pit. And we're 1 month away from the Libyan army. And I think we're going to be okay. We lost 1 infantry this time. And it's January again, and we're getting close to finishing off another one of the big tiers. That leaves 480 here and 160 here. Our population is climbing a little bit. We still need a lot of workers. We must be starting to age out. And I never like giving stone away. But we'll stockpile it. We're going to go up here and release pottery and beer to this housing block to try to get a few more people into town. And we're going to give beer over here. And pop back down in time for January. We can deliver it, which means we can get back to work on the monument. $416 and 80. So we're less than 500 blocks of stone to go. I'm really tempted to ignore these requests for stone. Especially when they want more than 1 yard. They can stuff it this time. So the small pyramid is finished. We need 224 on the large. And we're going to have a flood fail. And we need so many workers. I'm going to start dumping some of these. $355 workers required. Got the money. I'm just going to shut down papyrus and reeds and wood. That brings us down to a more manageable 110 workers short. And we're going to just limp to the end of the mission.
Excellent. The royal necropolis you have endeavored to build is truly splendid. You and your family's years of dedicated service have been richly rewarded with a sacred tomb of your own.
405 months. That's horrible. At least we've solved our employment problems here at the very end. I like the monuments. So way too much stone for the 20 plain stone mines that we had. I should have went a little bit more crazy. They definitely expected you to do a lot with a suggested population of 3,000. One last look at the city proper, and I'll sign off. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.